Today's guest is Delta Sweet, the country project from Juno Award-winning artist Patrick Kordyback, best known as the frontman of the multi-platinum band Stereos. He's just released a brand new single called The Backroad of Memory Lane, a track that dives into nostalgia, life experience, and the road that led him from pop rock success into country storytelling. Let's get into it. This is my conversation with Delta Sweet. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, man. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing great, dude. Just had my second espresso of the day and I'm ready to rock and roll. This show's called Meet Me for Coffee, and I want to know like what's in your coffee?
Okay, so I what I do every morning, I have, by the way, shout out my friend Allie for making me this mug with my cat Nola on it. Every day I do an espresso shot from the Nespresso machine with a little bit of cream, but then I top it up with brewed coffee, and I keep it to one a day because more than that I will get squirrely.
Yeah, super squirrely. Then you're writing different songs from different genres, and it gets kind of off tangent, right?
Maybe that's how I got into country. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Well, you know what? You released the Back Road of Memory Lane. What a great song. Well, what's the story behind that song, and where did it come from?
Yeah, man. I mean, I like to, when I was asked about like describing the song at first, one of the songs I went to, it sounds nothing like it, but bear with me, is the song Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind, where it's this really hooky pop song, doot doo doo, like people put it
Yeah.
on for the happy days, and the song's about like crazy drug use. And so with this song, I have the hook, it's like drink to the good times, like, and people at first are like, oh, it's a party song, but I intentionally use these metaphors of like substances that can make you feel good in the moment, but if you rely on them too heavily, they're obviously not a good thing. And I think nostalgia can be that way. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't talking from experience. We've touched on some amazing things I've done in my life. I'm very proud of them. And at the same time, no one likes being around that dude who's like, hey, remember the time when I was like doing this, blah, blah, blah. So, you know what I mean? Like, and my friends in stereos, we love getting together and telling old stories, and it's great. But to a certain point, it can hold you back from creating, amazing memories in the moment and going forward as well. So I love nostalgia. I think a lot of people my age do. I always say the 90s was the best time, Blockbuster Video, going for Slurpees. And I do feel that way. But at the same time, it is in the past for a reason. And that to me is what the song's about.
I love that feeling, man. You just brought me back that nice warm feeling of what it would still be if I was a kid. No cell phones, no way of like finding out, what your friends are doing and this and that. And on
For
top
real.
of
Yeah.
yeah, on top of it, like going outside and playing till the lights turn on and go coming back inside. And of course, yeah, those cool shows like Disband, you get to see those on Much Music. Nostalgia being powerful, but also dangerous. Like
Yeah.
the specific moment in your life that inspired that idea, uh, how would you say like you came to realizing that that was the specific moment?
Like in terms of writing this song.
Yes.
To me, honestly, it's a bunch of different moments, to be honest with you. So I think that there's like some very key things, like I have these milestones in my life, whether it be success with stereos, whether it be, I was married. These are like huge parts of my life that I look back on actually very fondly. I think that I'm one of the lucky ones too in this life, right? I have lived out my dream. I have, had what I look back on as like an amazing relationship that I still use as like a benchmark for what a good relationship can look like. And I've also had to live with what it feels like to lose those things, just to be very real with you. And you could feel sorry for yourself and wallow in it, or you could learn those lessons and, like I said, try and push them forward as things to like a good way to gauge what I want to do going forward in life as well. And so, seminal moments like that, there's a million of them. I couldn't choose just one, but those are some big ones that come to mind right away.
A lot of people like first knew you as the front man of Stereos, and what pushed you toward country music as Delta Sweet?
Yeah, so country music, it's funny because I just got a text this morning from Rob in Stereos, and he was talking about how a song came on shuffle in the gym. He's a personal trainer now, and it's a song called Back Home. And it's a stereo song that I wrote in 2007, 2008, and it's a country song. So I understand also, by the way, country absolutely right now is having a big moment. People love it, the festivals. And so there's a lot of people coming in. And country fans want to know, why are you here? Are you here just to cash in? Are you here for, just a moment for to try and chase fame and things like that? And I get it. To me, country music has always been the best storytelling genre. It doesn't mean there's not great storytelling in every genre, but to me, it was always the way it told the story was always what attracted me to it. And so I've been really trying to make country music for real since 2011 when I started a country music project called Ghost Town. It never went anywhere, but um, to answer your question, it was about time that I did my own solo thing. I had never done it. I've been making music 25 years, never done a solo project. And to me, it didn't make sense to do something that sounded like stereos because why wouldn't I just do stereos still if I was going to do strictly
True, true.
pop? And so it was, this was a very long time coming of me wanting to get into this genre and put my country songs out there because I've been writing them for a long time.
Was there ever a moment where you thought this is the direction I want to go now? Like as country music, obviously it's going. There's going to be a moment that I really believe, after seeing Hardy a few weeks ago, that rock fans and country fans, we're all going to be meeting up in the middle. There's some crazy mashup that's happening now where we're all driving to the same spot. It's going to be even bigger than this Taylor Swift stuff, man. We have two genres coming together and influencing each other. And it's a great time to become a country music artist because now people are accepting the meshing of different genres, like country, hard rock, and
Hmm.
different like, chord progressions and stuff like that.
Absolutely, man. So there's like metal country out there. I don't know if you've seen that. Like I see it a lot online, and I think that the one side of it is that there's so many of us, right? It's very, very, it's congested. Like there's so many people trying to make country music, and that makes it hard for sure. The good side of that, though, is that we all have a platform and we all have the opportunity to create an audience, and that can be away from mainstream things. Like we mentioned, much music. That was a great way of breaking bands back in the day. Radio was another way, but now it's so much different. You can get an online following and people who are really like invested and interested in what you're doing, and you don't have to follow the rules. And that's the thing is like when people say, "Oh, is this real country? Is it that?" Like, who gets into music because they want to start following more rules? I don't know about anyone else out there, but like that was never. I got my first bands were always punk rock bands. And it was about doing things that you were told not to do. And so, listen to what you want to listen to. Absolutely, have a preference. That's you. That's in your heart. I can't tell you what that is. But the idea that you shouldn't be making that because that's not what I want to hear, like that's over, dude. Like people can make whatever they want to make, and that's what art should be. Especially now we're getting like, oh, I can make an AI song. Cool, man. That has nothing to it. It is soulless. And so I do believe that at the end of the day, real songs, whether they're poppy, whether they're rock and roll, whether they're country or somewhere in the middle, now is the time.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, man. It's you're the artist. You're the one who has to compose the songs and create them. Like who's to say which way you shouldn't go and stuff like that? Because it's your music. You're supposed to go up on stage and make that music a reality and perform it. You need to be happy with what you've put out, right?
100%. I 100% agree with that. It's like my audience is an audience of one. If I love a song I've made, then I will put it out into the world. And so it's funny, by the time you put out a song, people don't like, oh, this song sucks. Great, dude. You are months behind me gauging whether or not I want to do it. So I really don't care. I hope people like it. I'd be lying if I said, I mean, we all want success because it allows you to do more of what you love doing, but that can't be your motivating factor. When you're writing the song from step one to start worrying about what's the radio guy in this town going to think about it, dude, you're already way behind where I think you need to be to keep the train moving because you got to love it first and foremost.
Yeah, I usually say like, people like when they go to concert, they say, "Hey, I love this song. It gets me in the feels," and I hear it on the record, and but it probably gets the artists feel in some sort of way. That's why they're performing. That's why they're creating that song to perform to you. So the energy goes back and forth. Usually, do you start with a melody? Like why is that so important to you? Like when creating a song?
So I mean, I could. say why I think it works, but I also am another thing. I'm so weary of anyone in this industry who says this is how you do things because I've seen it a million times where the opposite can be true. So you can say this is what works for me, and that's absolutely I'm a melody guy first. And the reason I do it that way is not because I feel superior about it. It's because that's all I've known. Before I even knew I was writing songs, I was humming my own vocal melodies over other people's songs. And so for me, I'm a melody first guy. That's just how I've always approached it. I think the benefit to that is that if you could play a song on a piano, like sometimes they do this, they do lo-fi versions of popular songs where, the vocal melody is being played by a piano and it's just strictly piano. To me, if you have that hook and there's no lyrics, you have what makes music music as opposed to just poetry. With that said, I think it would be silly to suggest that unbelievable lyrics don't make your song that much better as well. And I'm the first to admit that that is something that I've learned a lot through co-writing, especially since I got into country, is working with good lyricists, I think is very, very important. It has helped me because that is not my strong suit. And I think it makes those melodically strong songs into, as close to the best song possible when you combine it with great lyrics. And so, there's different ways. Some people they just write out a song start to finish, which is crazy to me. I don't know how you turn that into a real song, but I have so much respect for that ability.
Yeah, absolutely. And co-writing is like a very underrated skill for people, right? To jump in a room with someone and hash
Oh yeah.
ideas out. And I know growing up playing music, there was always some type of like, ignorance to the whole thing where it's like, I don't want someone writing my song and whatever like that. But most of the biggest songs out there are co-written, and it's good to kind of, it's like having a math teacher or someone who knows math trying to help you figure out equations and stuff. You need somebody to help you break that mold or figure out that songwriting block or hash things out.
Yep.
um, we talk about blending country storytelling with rock guitar tones. This is how I hear your music sometimes when I have it on in the background here. Is that the sound you're aiming to define the Delta Suite era?
Great question, man. And like I think that I'm the first to admit that it's taken so I'm a year and a half into this now, and it's taken me that long to try and find a sound. What is me? Because there are songs, I won't name them in case people love them, but there's songs I put out already as Delta Suite where I'm like, that's not me. I think that was me making a song similar to this, what I think I should be putting out. And I'm starting to find that. And I love to hear you say like the rock guitars, because to me, I get called pop country and I'm okay with that and I get it. I always love making hooky songs. But to me, I think it's rock country. And that's because I love the big band rock and roll sound. And then with the country instrumentation and storytelling, to me, that's my sound. And even some like synths in there. There's some stuff in there in the new song, Backroad of Memory Lane. And, there's people tell you can't put synths in country music, but okay. Again, I'm not here to follow rules, and I never have been. And then you look at a guy like Russell Dickerson, who's like one of my favorite current country artists, and you know, you want to argue with what that guy's doing right now? Like, I think he's doing okay.
Yeah, man, things are sounding great. If someone hears Delta Suite for the first time today, what song should they start with?
There's two. I'll say Backroad of Memory Lane. Obviously, here's another secret or poorly kept secret is that every artist thinks that the most recent thing they've done is their best. Without fail, we all think that, and so I do. I think Backroad of Memory Lane is starting to. That's my sound, and where I want to make song, sorry, where it couldn't just be any first name, last name country artist put them on the song. I want it to sound like me. I have another one though called Out of Money, Out of Mind, which ironically was my first release as a solo country artist, and I think that's very me as well. I think those two give a great idea of just the sound I want to have going forward as well.
Well, thanks for your time today, my friend. It's been great finally meeting you and speaking with you. Delta Suite, I'll meet me for coffee. And by the way, you got this Ghost Town name, you got to incorporate it somehow into your music. What a killer name for a song or a record or, something, man.
It's
Ghost
sick,
Town.
hey? Yeah, we
Yeah.
we we had the name Ghost Town. It was actually three of the guys in Stereos and myself, and we recorded like six songs. They were okay. They weren't the best songs, but yeah, Ghost Town, it's kind of badass. You're right. I think that could be either at least a song lyric or a title for sure.
I really think that like your experience in stereos and everything you've been up to up until now is gonna really help you propel forward, especially in this genre and your new found, Delta Suite era of your life. It's gonna be awesome because you have that experience. You're obviously great on stage. You're a great lyricist. You have all these amazing songs probably written before they're even released now that I haven't heard yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the future brings, my friend.
I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for the nice words.
Cheers, man. Thank you for taking your time.
You bet. You have a great day, dude. Thank you.